Welcome to the Real Estate Rundown. Is NAR purposefully hiding their membership numbers? Let's talk about it. So here's what happened, guys. So every month I do an analysis of realtor count throughout the U.S. So Sunday night, I was on my computer. I went to realtor.org. I searched for membership reports. It's gone. They're all gone. They had the membership reports published all the way back into the 70s, and all of them have been deleted from the site. So I got on chat. Chat wasn't open at 9 p.m. on a Sunday night. So I emailed NAR and I asked them what happened to the monthly membership reports. I got a reply back which said that they have removed them from the website, and if I'd like to know the realtor count for my local association, I can contact WeServe.
So you can only know it for your local association, not even the national count.
Yes.
So their numbers are plummeting, and they don't want it to be on front page news. So they're making it hard for people to, or for all of us to see how bad the numbers are plummeting. Is that what's going on?
Well, maybe they think the apocalypse is coming.
Yeah. The realtor apocalypse.
Yeah, because think about it. Like in 2008, remember I did that on a coaching call, I don't know, a couple of years ago, where I was looking at transactions and volume per the agents, et cetera. And like, should you be worried, not worried, right? Like when it comes to like volume and production per the agent, et cetera, when they left. Well, they kept those numbers published during that. And those were pretty rough times, right? Like, I mean,
not like this.
But I'm just, if memory serves me, it was like, we were like 1, 2.5, 1.3, and it went all the way down to like high 8s. Like it was massively obliterated.
It was. And so I called NAR yesterday and I spoke with one of their reps, and the rep explained to me that yes, the reports have been removed from the site. She said she's been getting a lot of phone calls about it. And I said, can I talk to somebody in leadership? This looks terrible. I said, the read between the lines for me is that realtor count is plummeting and you guys don't want any of us to know. And she put me on hold for about 15 minutes.
Oh boy.
Came back. Check it out.
She hasn't hung up yet.
Yeah, she came back and I was on my AirPods. I had my AirPods in, and she came back and she was like, hello. And I'm like, yes, hello. She acted like she couldn't hear me and then hung up.
Oh, wow.
And so, of course, like, this is like a little passion project. I got tons of shit to do, so I didn't call back. But can you believe it?
That's super crazy.
It must be bad, guys.
Yeah, this is an association that we pay for.
Yeah.
We're a part of.
Yeah.
And that's the customer service.
Right. I'm like, this is
membership service, excuse me.
This is the last thing that we need is more controversies surrounding them and us. And yeah, so I'm just waiting for Housing Wire or Inman to pick it up and report on it because it is sus.
Well, and let's go back to one of the things you said before, like the chat, how it's not alive, how it wasn't live. You're telling me that
it was 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock on a
doesn't
Sunday.
matter. Like, why do they not have some type of robo chat?
Oh well,
you know, I'm probably why because it's honest.
Well, it's definitely I'm shocked. I really am. I'm so surprised.
It must be really bad then.
It has to be.
If they're like, oh shit, let's hide these. Like, this isn't good.
I mean, talk about throwing you into a dark room without a shred of light. I mean, just like when you're looking at things from the macro.
So
that's interesting.
So now for you to get a whole macro of the whole United States, you have to
you'd have to compile like crazy.
Yeah, which
Call
would be,
all 500 associations.
Yeah, that's not.
I mean, do you guys think though that agents are already leaving that quick?
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting. It's just there really hasn't been much buzz around it, so
yeah, I wouldn't.
They're joining
I'd
war.
be shocked if
people leaving the industry.
I definitely think like the people that are, and Kayla, maybe you would know this too, but I forget where I saw this, and it's been quite some time ago, but it was something like along the lines of an agent that does less than 10 deals a year, roughly 60%, or no, it's higher than that, excuse me. I think it was like roughly 70% of what they do is buy-side transactions.
I remember we chopped up that stat before, but I can't recall exactly what it was. Here's something, though, that I've been kind of marinating on. So in Arizona, if I were to go get my cosmetology license, I would need to invest 1,600 hours in order to be able to cut, color, perm hair.
And wax my eyebrows.
Exactly. Right?
Do some skin treatments.
They're like, whoops, your eyebrows gone. Sorry.
1,600 hours. That is an insane amount of time. I can go get my real estate license in 90 hours. I think the true problem is the low barrier of entry. And then I was podcasting with Glenda Baker yesterday, and we were chopping this up. And she said not only the low barrier of entry, but the low barrier to maintain a license, right? We should put some sort of licensing requirements for a transaction count. Maybe when you first get your license, you're under a mentor for 12, 24 transactions. Maybe you have to do a certain amount of transactions every year to stay licensed. Like, it's just such an easy barrier of entry to be a real estate agent. And I think that is what causes a lot of the issues.
Yeah, and it's all about money too, because all these associations they want your money. Like, hey, you might do one deal, you might do zero, but I want your money. I want your association money.
It's a total body count situation for them because it's roughly depending on where you're at, et cetera. It's $1,000 to $1,500 ish, right, per year.
So what would
per
you
an
guys think if
agent
it costs like 5 times as much, but you had less competition?
Oh,
I wouldn't mind.
If it costs $10,000 a year,
Yeah.
if it costs $10,000 a year to keep up your license, but yet then at that point you would have, not everyone and their mom would have their license.
But that would
So
stop the people that get licensed.
you get more business.
Yeah, that would stop the people that get licensed to sell their house or to sell their mom's house or their friend's house, right? How many people do that? Like, oh, I'm not doing anything right now.
Oh, go get my license, and I'll help you next month to go to your house.
Yep.
Your house, yeah. And then they make 20 grand, and they're like, oh, cool.
That was so easy.
Very easy. It's simple.
Yeah, I mean, you see it
There's the
happen
easy
all
button.
the time. They do that and get their license to do that one deal. That's it.
Well, and I mean, unfortunately, the service, like, no shade on them, but shade on them because think about the service that they provide. Think about the fiduciary, the foresight, right? Like, it's all good if it's a smooth as butter transaction, but what if there's an inspection problem? What if there's a title problem, right? Something that requires true expertise in the industry, and they're unable to fulfill that, and that person then walks down that slippery slope with somebody that has technically only 90 hours more of education, which, let's face it, that's not transactional experience.
And what we learn in real estate school, you can pretty much brain dump once you take the test.
Yep.
Because a lot of it is, there's some stuff that's valuable, but there's a lot of information that's taught that we just don't use. And if you ever did need to know it, you would go get that resource.
Or it's so specific, like sections around meets and bounds. Yeah, we really need that in Arizona.
Yeah, so interesting. Hey, here was a question I was asked recently, and I liked it, and so I want to ask you guys and get each of your answers. So if you could go back, we'll start with Elliot. Elliot, if you could go back to day one of your real estate journey,
Okay.
and do something differently, tell yourself something differently to be successful, what would it be?
Follow up.
That was like quick and simple. Like,
Well, because it was the hardest lesson I learned. Probably about 10 years. I had a lot of success over especially my first 10 years of creating new clients, et cetera. Terrible at a solid client success follow-up process, right? Like, and I mean, we didn't have as much technology. CRMs weren't as prevalent, et cetera. It was a different process then. But without a doubt, being completely candid, I promise I've lost probably well over $1 million because of crappy follow-up.
how about you, Keith?
Mine's pretty similar. It's basically staying in communication with anybody that you've done business with. I'm super guilty.
That's what I'm talking about, the follow-up like
Yeah,
that.
I'm still guilty of it even today in some avenues where, right, you got me in the moment. I'm all in. I give you a great experience, but then once that transaction's done, there's no like tight communication. I mean, I have created some pretty tight relationships.
Yeah, aren't you in someone's will or?
Well, I don't even know. Like, I haven't even heard from that guy in like over a year, and like some investigator was calling and asking about him, and I never called him back.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay.
Wait. you're just, that's all you're gonna say on this?
Yeah, yeah. Wait,
Like,
can we
what are
talk-
you talking about, investigator?
A little bit more. A little bit
Please
more.
talk about
We
this.
can leave his name out.
I don't know what it was about. This is the guy who was basically getting catfished.
Oh, by
By Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I don't know if like, who knows? It was bizarre. But anyway, yeah. So I have created some pretty tight relationships, but there's no question if I would have had that system in place, I guarantee you,
Absolutely.
more consistent business versus always hunting for new.
yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Jay?
For me, it would be think about buying the property before selling it. So, like, there's, I remember running into so many sellers, and it's like they had to leave or they had to go, and they're like, oh, we'll list it on the market and we'll sell it. Instead of thinking like, well, I'll buy it from you.
Yep.
I wish I would have done more of that. Like, we'll buy it. We'll get you out of here and you can go, and
That's a
I can
solid
either
one.
put it as a rental or resell it and flip it, and what we're doing now, obviously. But yeah, I think that's probably what I would do differently.
Yeah.
And you?
Well, I think my take on it was I could go back and tell myself, and this is what we did, but it was with a lot of emotional turmoil. It was really emotionally taxing. I remember when we were first in real estate, because the first 6-8 months were really super lean. We were out of money. We had just both applied for jobs at an airline as reservation clerks.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
they
didn't know that either.
They didn't hire us. Neither of us.
goodness.
Neither of us
They're
got a
like,
job. But we were broke as a joke. Credit cards were nearly maxed out. It was just really stressful. And if I could go back in time, I would just tell myself to prospect like your life depended on it. 6-8 hours a day. Just prospect every single day like crazy, and don't expect nothing for 9 to 12 months, and then within 12 to 18 months you'll be the number one producer in your market. And kind of like what happened, but I think the advice I would give myself would be more of that mental clarity, to have the mindset this is going to work, because there was a lot of doubt. I had a ton of doubt when we started, and I think maybe because we were so young, and then being broke doesn't help.
No, it's scary.
Yeah, it was really scary. So I would just go back and give myself that reassurance that everything you're doing is going to pay off epically, and you don't need to stress about the results. Just, that whole trust the process thing.
Yeah.
No, I love that. For me, that's Darren Hardy 101 right there.
Yeah.
I love
Like,
him.
go. He says something similar, like, go out and get as many no's as possible, because the more no's you get, comes with more yeses.
Yeah, I used to have a little thing that says every no is closer to a yes in front of me.
Yeah.
I get on the phone, all right, I can get a no.
And that's what he said he did. He just went and prospected like insane, and then started becoming one of the top producers in early 20s. So
Yeah, I love it.
It works.
This is a good question. You know why? Because I could sit here and see all of us, right? Obviously we've all been in the game a long time now, but to see how we've learned from what we just said and actually put it into action today.
Yeah. Right. Like when we started Zoodealio, we had no expectation of immediate success whatsoever. We knew it was going to be a grind. We were all here for it, and it was that mindset that we needed in order to build something cool that most people don't have. Yeah. They expect results immediately. Hey, results aren't going to be served up Amazon Prime.
No.
Not today,
When they have no staying power.
Yeah.
Right? They bounce, right?
Yep.
It's like buying a stock or something, it dips, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm out. Sometimes you got to stay and weather the storm.
Yeah. So you guys want to talk about $1 million homes?
Yep.
All right.
Let's talk about $1 million homes.
Well, let's talk about it. So in 2020, we know that there was a lot of money that flooded into the market.
Yes, we got Jerome Powell, he was printing that. You get that.
Yeah.
See that
Dude,
that meme
let's
where he's just
expand the
doing this and
dollar.
the money's just flying out.
Fiat money.
It's printing it.
Let's pour it in.
Yes. So now $1 million homes are now typical in a record number of U.S. cities. The analysis finds, according to Zillow, they came out with an analysis that said that in February there were $550 million cities where the typical home value is $1 million or more, which is just insane. And they have this graph. I'll have Colby put it up on screen because it's crazy. It shows the number of $1 million cities in the U.S. and it hits a new high. You can literally see in 2020, and you can see this insane jump.
That's
in 2020 there was 250 cities, and so it doubled.
Yeah.
It doubled to 550 cities, or more than doubled.
In 4 years.
And so that's basically just inflation.
I know, that doesn't prove how
printing
stupid inflation is. I don't know what does.
It was basically a tax. They taxed us. They printed all the money, and now we have $1 million homes. But who cares? Like, we gonna sell it and go buy another $1 million home?
I was about to
it's
say
the same thing.
Yeah. Normally a chart like that is great, but not for homes.
No.
I was like, that's a nice big green candle right there.
I know.
I guess you
It's
could
like
sell it and move to another country.
That's or to
it's-
some like rural city, but then what are you going to do for work? So unless you have a remote job, okay, that works. But guess what? They've called everybody back to work. So,
right.
But even some of the rural places, I mean, they're double in price.
Oh,
too.
totally.
So it's no different.
So CPI numbers come out tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
And we know that the Fed target is like between 2.2 and 2.4, and there's no way we're going to be close to that. So what does that mean for rate cuts?
not happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a rate cut this year,
Ooh,
unless
the whole year.
Unless the administration really like puts the pressure on it, which I don't. I mean, I think a lot of these feds are kind of scared. They're like, there are a lot of them saying like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have rate cuts. This
Yeah,
year.
who was it? Was the Kashari or Kashari? I can't.
Kashari, yeah.
Yeah, he came out last week and said that, yeah, maybe we're not going to have cuts this year.
Or will it be 60 days before election that they go do something with the bond market and do something to try to put pressure and make people feel good that last 60 days before they go to the freaking voting booth?
Well, they're doing that by saying that what Biden came out with a new student loan thing again.
Oh my
It's like
goodness.
another one. Like, oh, we're gonna raise student debt. Yeah. Like, vote for me, I'll raise your student debt, which he can't. So it's like it's just a bunch of lies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's propaganda.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is the spread between the 10-year Treasury and mortgage interest rates is closing.
Narrowing.
Right. So that it was, I mean, that spread at one point was like over 300 basis points. And so
That is crazy.
It is compressing, which is good because that means that rates aren't going up, at least. But will we get relief? Will they go down?
Well, we don't know.
I think that there's a lot of
I don't even
misconception
know.
out there too. Like there's times that like I'll talk to people on my network that are not in real estate. They'll be like, "Hey, I hear home prices are going down." I'm like,
What?
"In what city?"
Yeah, where?
Because where?
Yeah.
Where the high price is going. Yeah, but if you
Fake
got,
news.
You got a piece of crap, maybe, but no one wants a piece of crap right now.
No.
I mean, I guess we definitely see way more properties with price reductions, so maybe that's where they're thinking housing prices.
Yeah,
are
the
going
pie in
down.
the sky price.
But most people are unrealistic
Yeah.
when they list their house in the first place, which is why they're having to do a price reduction.
But we got Kayla. I'm talking about you have a listing. We have a friend that you listed a property at $3 million, and we're getting a lot of
Yes.
showings like in the
Yeah.
$3 million range.
Right.
Like
That is crazy.
So you got the people with the money; they're out there still shopping.
Well, they're not as impacted by all of these changes. And, with what happened, they're probably in better positions than the average.
Yeah, if they own
American.
if they own a bunch of assets, which most Americans don't have assets, that's what really skyrocketed and appreciated was assets.
Assets, yeah.
Not your, of course, eggs and milk and all that stuff went up, and that definitely hits the average American, but
Not your cash sitting in the bank doing
there's-
nothing.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't own assets,
Yep.
you're just poorer and poorer and poorer every year.
Your money's being stolen from you.
Especially from 2020 to 2024, if you don't own assets,
Oh yeah.
you
this
were
was-
hurting for certain.
This was definitely really shocking. I mean, I've seen the memes where it's like, I've always wanted $1 million house. I didn't know that my house would be it, Just, you say,
House I'm in is $1 million.
right? Because before we used to think, oh, it's $1 million home. It was
Totally.
like this is going to be a
$1 million listing.
showstopper. Yeah, there was a whole show.
Yeah.
$1 million listing. Now it's just like average.
Now it's
like,
just a decent track home.
yeah.
That's really all it is.
It's crazy.
At least
Well,
in the
and
Phoenix Metro.
That's crazy.
Some out in like California,
Oh.
it's a dump.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd say, well, California's been obnoxious for a decade.
Yeah.
Okay, let's think here. If we were building a home and you wanted to put a really cool feature in it, what are some cool features that you would want in your home?
Oh, boy.
I want a Zoom room.
I say a nice big like RV storage garage.
Oh yeah, there you go.
For your cars?
But yeah, well, not for an RV, but I mean,
Yeah.
just for storage.
I could see that. I could see you with that, Keith.
Yeah,
Totally.
I need one. All my Halloween stuff.
Let's go. I know a good realtor.
That's funny.
Elliot, what about you? Craft room?
Possibly a craft room. That's so
A
funny.
wrapping paper room.
That's definitely not me.
It's Carly.
That is Carly. All perfect. I'd probably do something. I mean, if we're gonna get like crazy, I'd do something fun, like I don't know, some type of like golf simulator or something like that. That'd be fun.
Golf simulator. Yeah, that's
I'm surprised you didn't say flight simulator.
That'd be cool.
Okay, steam oven
Ooh.
for sure.
Yep.
That I hear is amazing. What about you, Jay?
Oh man, a bowling alley.
That'd be cool. That'd be fun.
Because
you're-
I don't like putting my fingers in like other people's bowling balls and stuff. Actually, that wasn't me. That was Kayla saying that.
My jaw just dropped because the other day we were looking at this house in Queen Creek and was it listed for $25 million or
$25 million.
$25 million in Queen Creek. So we're looking at this house and has a bowling alley, and I'm like, that would be pretty cool. And he's
Yeah.
like, why? And I'm like, well, I like to bowl. I just don't like sticking my fingers in holes where other people stick their fingers.
I think they sanitize those things pretty good. But
Do they?
I believe. I don't know. It maybe depends on the bowling ball.
The 16-year-old employee doing it. Yeah, they're sanitizing.
They just
great.
spray.
Yeah,
Well, they just
yeah.
spray it with alcohol like crazy, kills everything.
Oh, that's too funny.
I don't know. That does make you think, though, right? Like, I mean, I even like just even like having one of the things I have now, which is awesome, is like a little sonic ice machine
yes,
in the house.
yeah.
Like just little things like that. And I totally dig it.
Oh yeah, we've had ice machines like one of the last 10 years and
Oh, longer for like almost 20 years.
20 years,
We've had
okay,
an ice
yeah.
machine.
So yeah, that's and it's an expensive thing too.
It is not
And-
cheap, yeah.
And like you're like, oh man, I'm gonna spend $2,000 on this machine, and then it breaks like every 7 years. So we've gone through like maybe 4 or 5
Brace
of them.
yourself.
Yeah, I think it's because of the
Elliot.
heat, right? Like I already had one go out under warranty, and I actually went to the Scotsman, the better one.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you? Scotsman.
I know in Arizona you gotta have ice. You gotta have ice.
Yep.
Ice is a luxury.
Ice is a luxury. I think also a sauna or like a
Yeah, that'd be good.
big steam room,
Yeah, that would be good.
a cold plunge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a spa room or something. You know, has it all there.
Enclosed.
Yeah, be cool.
That'd be cool.
Colby's saying, yeah, he wants to do a dunk, don't you?
See, those are the things I think of when I think of $1 million home.
Yeah.
Not like a 3-2, 2,500 square foot with
Well-
a 3-car garage.
Yeah, like I was on a bike ride with Carly on Sunday, and right across the street. I mean, we do live in a nice area, but there's some custom homes around right across the street from us. They're on like larger property, and the house is so. And we saw it was for sale and pulled it up, and it was 2.5, and I was like, no way, no how would I even consider paying 2.5 for this house?
Well, because it was 1.25 in 2020,
I know.
but they printed all that money. Now it's 2.5.
Yeah. I mean, and giving it perspective is like, I think it was 3.5, 3,200 square feet on like 3/4 of an acre.
Is it a brand new home?
No.
Oh, okay.
2-story, single level.
Single level.
Hmm.
So that's going to give it a little
some
bit
of
of
these
value.
houses are like dumpy too. They got all the old.
Absolutely
what do you call
would
it?
have needed some updating.
The Tuscan look
Yeah,
with
that's what it was.
all that travertine, and busting all that stuff out. Oh man, it's a mess.
And it's good that like on a house like that, you're going to spend at least $100K in a remodel.
Yeah.
To get it up to date.
They put like wood paneling all over the whole house. It's like just all wood.
I mean, at one point in time, that was like the dream, you
I
know?
know.
Like
So
live, laugh,
fancy.
love. That was
Now
the
you look at it,
era.
you're like,
Yeah,
"Ugh."
it did.
2003 to 2009, somewhere.
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
I feel like going to 2015. 2015.
Oh no, not that long.
I think so.
No.
Okay, I'm out of touch.
No, yeah, things went pretty modern after 2010. You know, like especially I saw the new builders.
Well, now it's all like mid-century or the farmhouse modern.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think modern farmhouse is trending out.
I did. That doesn't say how long is
It
that.
is. It definitely is.
Going back to Tuscan.
No.
I feel like
think-
it's actually going very modern.
I think it's more of like with natural elements and
Yes.
yeah, definitely modern is trendy.
Like
Yeah.
wallpaper.
Yeah, wallpaper's back. It's
Yeah.
making a splash. It's cool.
Always going to be something. I mean, heck, bell bottoms came back, right?
Yeah, yep.
Well, D.R. Horton, they're doing popcorn ceilings again.
For real?
No.
I was literally going to fall out of my chair if that was the case.
I was like, whoa.
Save $7,500 and
Your
just
popcorn
go
ceilings.
popcorn on your ceiling.
What?
Why do they do that? Is it that much cheaper to just
I just think it was the style.
They
I mean, it
just
was like,
spray on it all
Yeah.
like that, and it just stuck
sticks?
to it. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
it was easy.
Yep. I think it was easy. All right. Well, what do we got? You got market. What do we got from market update?
So
Anything?
the market minute, Colby sent me some stuff. What was it? Blackstone or Black Rock? Which one was it? Blackstone. Blackstone bought Air, which was a big apartment REIT. So they own a bunch of apartments, and they spent $10 billion on it. So people are saying, well, that's a good sign when you have someone like Blackstone buying a massive, apartment, multifamily REIT. So, I mean, do they know something more than we know? So that hey, assets are still gonna be going up, inflation's still going, so we're gonna buy as much as possible. So because those prices are gonna keep rocketing. So
they have a
you
little
watch what the big boys are doing, and you do that.
They have access to a little bit more data than we do, and trend reports.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they can set a trend.
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
influence.
They got
and
enough money.
they create
like,
the trend.
yeah,
We're gonna buy it
exactly.
all and then raise the prices, right?
You got a deal of the week?
Yeah, so I was actually just thinking about it. Go to the past a little bit. So there is a property purchased in Portland, Oregon, several months ago. And I mean, this property was in such bad shape. Like, it was shocking that someone was even living in this place.
What was?
Was someone living in that?
Yeah, but
Oh.
it was tenant occupied. So the sellers,
Well, we'll have to
a divorce situation.
We'll have
so
to
that's-
give Colby a couple pictures to
yeah,
like
throw in
shots
here.
from before and
that's the main
afters.
reason they were selling. But so even though this place is only 700 and some square foot, we literally redid everything. Though I mean, I'm like all the panels from on the exterior was completely ripped off. New insulation. I mean, it was pretty much built from besides the foundation, right?
Yeah.
Ground
Just
up.
completely redone.
Yeah.
Left the
And
studs.
so it's really cool because it's like, oh man, that's a big project. But now what it turned into, and then getting it back under contract on the resale, it's just it's really cool to go through that whole process and the whole experience because one, it's a massive win for the previous sellers because obviously it fetched as much money as possible.
Yeah, they're gonna make a bunch more
And
money.
exactly, versus if they would have just maybe not come across our Cash Plus, obviously the agent presented it to them. They probably would just took an investor offer, got a little bit of cash, and moved on. And then it's really cool to transform a property and one, increase the value of the area, and then now someone gets to live in virtually a brand new home.
That's so cool.
I remember that it was a divorce situation, right?
Yep.
And they, they were going to sell to an investor like super cheap, like they were going to dump it. I mean, it was a dump.
Yeah, it was a dump.
It was literally like
Literally the
like,
term of dump.
The next person was not going to move into that. I think it was a rental, right?
Yeah.
And they just tore it up, and it was just nasty. And now we made them a ton of money.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
they made a lot more money too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you to the agent that's a Zoodealio member that brought
Yep.
this cool product to them. That's
And
cool.
congrats to the homeowners.
Yeah.
Yes.
A good story. I love it, Keith.
Yep. All right. Well, what I got in advice is I'm going to actually stay on trend a little bit based on what we were talking about here today, with the potential of agents leaving the business Well, guess what that does? That's going to open up the landscape for you to go out and absorb some of those clients. So taking that advice of getting really on purpose of prospecting. Now, to be clear, prospecting can look so many ways. It absolutely can be you picking up the phone. It can be you sending out messages, which is a little bit more marketing based to try to draw them in. But it's really about being proactive about expanding your message. And then the biggest thing I want to hit on that is when you do a great job of that, get the people inside of your ecosystem, give them something of value, and set a system and a process in place so that you have that long-term nurture sequence. So you're not like myself and look back 10 years down the road and be like, dang, I just stepped over $1 million because I chose not to do this. Don't make that mistake.
Yeah, I was giving them something of value like the Cash Plus, like the agent that gave the divorcees that, hey, you guys should do this. They'll remodel your house and put a bunch of value into it, and you'll make a bunch of money. Flip your own house, and you don't have to do crap, but pay a 6% service fee, and that's it.
That's right.
There's some value.
That's free cash, right?
Free
I mean,
cash.
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
process. I mean, in all technicality, it is free because you pay for the service, but you're making additional cash. And you're not swinging the hammer. You're not pulling money out of your pocket. Pretty cool stuff. What do we got? Viral vibes. Want to take us home?
Yes, I will end today with the viral vibes, and that is affordability. Redfin published a report that said half of U.S. homeowners and renters struggle to make their monthly housing payment. And what is really sad is 22% of respondents said that they skipped meals in order to be able to afford their housing. So we know it's an issue, definitely sad, and it is definitely going viral because people are feeling the pain of not being able to afford their monthly housing payments.
Jeez.
And now McDonald's in California, you get a Big Mac meal is like $25 now, right? With the raise in
What?
Yeah.
It is not, is it?
So it's more
It's
expensive
going
in that
to.
area than
Well, no,
normal
they
McDonald's?
raised the minimum wage for all fast food workers to $20 an hour. So now all the prices are going up.
I saw something with McDonald's. I forget what I forget what it is, but it's something like it had gone up by like 250% within like a 5-year span. Like
Yeah.
the average cost of a menu item on McDonald's.
Yep. You get
I mean, I can tell you right now. So those of you that don't know, I have a blended family and we have 7 kids. And so when I go through McDonald's sometimes, if you're on the road traveling.
it's a hundy. You may have a hundy in
It's
your
like
pocket.
$75 for like breakfast for everybody. It's like pretty crazy. And I'm talking, we're just getting like little sausage biscuits, not like everybody getting like lavish stuff. $75.
No, you can't have the hot cake plate. That's too
Exactly.
expensive.
Exactly.
No hot cakes for you.
That's pretty crazy.
All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you are getting Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you're getting value from our episodes, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're updated of our new episodes.